What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Buck and 2 MC show. Y'all know that Maria and I are super excited about tonight's show, or today's show, actually, because why? We advanced. We survived and we advanced with a good win over MTSU. And I'm just excited to hear what did the players have to say? What did Coach Kelly have to say? And I'm just like I'm geeked up. Y'all don't even understand. As a former Lady Vol, I'm so happy that we are headed in the right direction.
713 days. That's how long we've gone between NCAA tournaments because of the pandemic. That I realized it was a long time, but man, 713 days. I think I lived every one of them. They're obviously very happy. And first, I want to shout out Alex Carter. I mean, he's got a great first name. It's close to Alexis. Carter, Andrea Carter, great Lady Vol name. He is our new producer. He's helping out Bobby, and he's made all these cool things, and I don't have to press any buttons. And he did that cool intro music. So, Alex, just please say hello from the back, and thank you so much, Alex Carter, for being with us.
Thank y'all very much. It's quite an honor. I love this show. I love the product. I love everything that's going on at Volunteer Roadshow. I'm excited to be a part. And, yep, I'll be watching in the back. Y'all need anything, let me know. Everybody out there in the comments, hello, how are you? And go Lady Vols.
Go Lady Vols. I love it. Thank you, Alex. Maria, talk to us. What did Coach Kelly have to say? What did the players have to say? What was the energy, the vibe, the thoughts? I mean, I know it's a lot of emotions that were going on today.
There was a lot of, happiness, but you know that when you get to this point in the season, you're happy with a win, no matter what. We only get one player. Everything is so different now with the NCAA tournament and everything virtual. Kelly said basically, they were tied at halftime, 39-39, and then Tennessee just opened up a can of let's go in that third quarter. Kelly said we didn't really change anything. We just executed our game plan better. I mean, she's thrilled. This is her first win in the NCAA tournament as the Lady Vol head coach because of what happened last year. Renaya Davis, 24-14. She said when she looked at some stats, she saw she only had 5 boards, and she said, "Let me get on these boards right quick." That was her exact quote.
I love it.
And I mean, Ray Burrell, 22 points. Tamari Keith, 13 points. Jordan Walker, 9 points and 14 rebounds. Smallest kid on the floor. She's tied Renaya for rebounds. Horston had a bunch of sixes, 6 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. I mean, just incredible. Cassie, 10-8. And I'm probably leaving some out. I said Tamari Keith. Just Renaya had a heck of a debut, but what she said? She said, "I did what my teammates needed." Tennessee's in a good place right now, and that they're working together well. So obviously the 21 turnovers, I didn't realize it was that many until I saw the final stat. They were not open floor turnovers, so that helps. But Alexis, you watched the game, and I know you were going crazy, especially when Middle Tennessee tied it. But what is your reaction to this game?
Initial reaction was we opened up like we came ready to play in the NCAA tournament. And guys, excuse my voice. I'm currently in Atlanta. I had been coaching my babies, the elementary team, so my voice is gonna be in and out, yo. So if I sound like a grown man, that's why. But they came out the gate like we're here and we are supposed to be here. Now, after that, when MTSU was like, "Oh shoot, we gotta play. If not, we're gonna get embarrassed," and the game got a lot closer, and MTSU took over for a while, we weren't executing on defense. Our defense was, I'm gonna just say it was non-existent because either you bring it or you don't in the NCAA tournament. So, excuse me. So if you don't bring it, it looks like the first half. To me, the turnaround in the second half was we packed our defense. And, of course, we packed the boards, and we just decided, you know what, they're not on our level. Let's play to our level and see if they can compete. And, obviously, we pulled away because, as it should be, we're on a different level. No disrespect to MTSU. They did a great job. They fought hard. But in my mind, especially as a former Lady Vol, I don't ever believe anybody's on our level as a team. Whether they are or they aren't, my thought process is they're not. And I think that the Lady Vols in the second half took on that approach and that mindset, and it showed.
You mentioned the boards. The final stat was 56-21 in Tennessee's favor. That is a beatdown on the boards. 20 of those were offensive rebounds. I swear the spirit of Pat Summitt was in the Frank Irwin Center in Austin. She was probably lifting those players up by their shoes to get on that offensive glass. Speaking of Pat Summitt, Orange Mountain Designs is one of our primary sponsors of this show. Terry Holder with Orange Mountain Designs is having a Pat Summitt sale. You want your Pat Summitt gear? It's coming. And Alex, there we go. Alex got it right up. $8 shipping, $8 Pat Summitt items, $18 Pat Summitt items. This is one heck of a sale. Use the code PAT. It's valid now through Tuesday the 23rd. Get yourself to orangemountaindesigns.com and support Pat Summitt. Also, we want to shout out Tennessee Tap House and Blue Water Climate Control, and of course, Sam Strong. This is what keeps this show going, along with the excellent production abilities of Alex Carter. Thank you, Alex. Alexis, my first thought was Middle Tennessee probably deserved better than a 14 seed, but you know the committee, they wanted they wanted this. Let's put these two in-state schools together.
I honestly think when they did it, they thought MTSU was going to get an upset. Like I really believe the way that that paired up. There's no way that happens. MTSU did a great job throughout the regular season, and I agree with you, Maria. They should have definitely gotten a higher seed. And yeah, the NCAA wanted that in-state matchup, and as you know, we've fallen to some teams we shouldn't have fallen to in the NCAA tournament in past years. I'm just glad they responded. I'm glad our Lady Vols responded, because the first half, man, we could have been on edge that entire game, but yet we stepped it up and we saw Lady Vol basketball.
Renee Suter pointed out, even the Pat Summitt bobblehead is $8. So if you don't have a Pat Summitt bobblehead, now is your chance. I know you got one, Alexis.
Well, it broke, so she had to resend it.
Okay.
Well, no, like it broke when she got it, when she received it, and
okay.
Yeah.
We've had a question already about where was Marta Suarez. Suarez, that foot injury is she's out. She's on crutches. That foot injury has gotten too much for her to play, so she will not be appearing in the game Tuesday by all likelihood. The last I saw of her, she was on crutches. So that doesn't sound like good to go at all. The Middle Tennessee, you mentioned, you didn't want a close game because they shoot threes. To give you an idea, they have taken more than 700 threes this season, with 4 players in triple digits for threes, may even be 5. Tennessee has taken more than 300, and nobody has hit 100 on the 3 mark. So they're going to live and die by the 3. Alexis, what's the danger? What's the benefit and what's the danger of that?
Well, the benefit is when you're on, you're accumulating points at a much faster pace. Obviously, you're able to stretch your lead a little bit faster as long as you're still getting those stops. The bad thing about it is if you live and die by the 3 and you're not hitting, or those threes become a lot more difficult, it makes it easier for the other team, because you're not putting them in foul trouble, right? You're not attacking the basket and trying to get them in foul trouble. And you're relying, long shots mean long rebounds. And we have rebounding guards, so we have size inside and out. I mean, minus Walker, but she rebounds like a big guard. So it was an advantage for us to live and die by the 3, because when you're not hitting them and getting the lead and the momentum you need, it changes the game, and it does help us, because now you're more of a one and done situation for the Lady Vols as far as defensive rebounding and able to push that tempo. And we saw a lot of transition in the second half.
Karen Vogel saw Kean Green on the bike the other day. Will she play? Absolutely not. She's still in the comeback rehab mode from ACL surgery. That is a huge surgery, and you do not risk putting her on there. The fact she's on a bike now is a very good sign, but she's got several months to go of rehab before she's going to be allowed on the court. You also talked about turning it on in the third quarter, Alexis. I mean, Tennessee opened strong, which is good because they've been off for 15 days. You can be very rusty for an NCAA tournament. But you played in a bunch of them where the first half, it's like a prize fight. You're sort of circling the ring, sizing each other up. And then, I mean, Tennessee's lead was only 9 points in the first half. It wasn't like they had this huge first half lead. What happens at halftime to cause a team to do that in the third quarter?
I could only imagine. Oh my God, my shoulder, y'all. From my car accident, I'm holding a phone, right? I've been holding it for 15 minutes. My freaking shoulder starts throbbing. Anyway, so I could imagine, Kelly being the type of player that she was, and under the leadership of Coach Summit, I can imagine she told them, "Are you ready to play now? Calm down. Let's play Lady Ball basketball. Let's execute our scouting report. Let's make them guard us at every position. Let's make it hard for them to shoot every shot. Let's box out and control the boards." I imagine that was just that deep breath that you need to take some time to get the nerves out and calm yourself and say, "Okay, time to go. I'm here now." And I could only imagine that their halftime speech might have went something like that.
Credence Wood said, "Do y'all think we will keep scoring like this?" Well, we know they're going to play Michigan next. That's a Big Ten program. That's right. Going to be a step up, and they have the Big Ten Player of the Year. Michigan does. So, yeah, honestly, I don't know. I'll take a deep dive into Michigan later tomorrow when I'm writing that preseason story. I'm like Pat Summitt. I'm one game at a time. Just let me cover this. Now I'll shift my attention, but Tennessee certainly has the capability to score like this. Would you agree with that, Alexis?
No, absolutely. We're very capable. We're capable of competing with anybody in the nation, in my opinion. When we're doing what we're supposed to do, and players have stepped up and accepted the challenge. As Coach always used to tell us, big-time players make big-time plays. We're going to see a lot character-wise from our Lady Vols in this tournament because, like you say, it's survive and advance. It's one and done. So you can't look ahead. Now, I watched probably about 2.5 quarters of the Michigan FGCU game, okay? As we played close with MTSU, so did Michigan in the beginning, first half, right? Third quarter still kind of close. End of the third, all of the fourth, you saw the Michigan team that got them where they're at. We better bring it. They have size. They don't have as much athleticism as we have, but they're smart. Their IQ is high. They work well together, right? So we can't rely on our size, and we should rely on our athleticism, pressure them, force them to put the ball on the ground a little more, and be there to help them recover. But we definitely have to contest and long close out on the three-point shooters. It's going to be a really good game. I just hope that they come with the mindset, whether you want to look at it as it's Tennessee versus Michigan or number 3 versus number 5. Either way, our mindset should be we're coming to dominate this game and survive to go on to the Sweet 16.
I jumped right into the post-game pressers, and then obviously this show. I know Michigan won. I have not seen a tip time or a location time. This is the strangest tournament, and that Tennessee had to take a bus ride to Austin. That's a 90-minute bus ride day of the game because you're based in San Antonio. I know Michigan, Florida Gulf Coast was played at San Antonio, University of San Antonio, Texas. Where tomorrow or Tuesday's game is, honestly, I don't know. Even Kelly doesn't know. I haven't seen yet. It may be getting posted soon, but right now we don't know where they play Tuesday, what time they play Tuesday. Tennessee did particularly well because they only got one practice at Texas. The rest were timed to be in San Antonio in the convention center. So everything about this tournament is unusual, but it's like that for every team. So I understand. You mentioned their defense being better they needed to cut off the drives. Anastasia Hayes gets to the rim. That is what she does. So they went to a zone, which can be dangerous against a three-point shooting team. But Tennessee's length is such a problem. What did you see better on defense in the second half?
Well, zone is a man-to-man principle, set. So with our length and our athleticism, we're covering the paint, right? We're making it a lot harder to just infiltrate our defense and get to the paint, almost forcing the kick out. But at the same time, because we're so long and athletic, we can make it look like the three is wide open, but you drive and you kick and we're there closing out, contesting that jump shot. If they play with that same sense of urgency, we will be okay, because that's what I saw, a sense of urgency in that second half on the defensive end, which gave them it kicked them into a whole nother gear offensively.
I want to shout out our sponsors again, OrangeMountainDesigns.com, Pat Summit Special for this win. There's $8 items, $8 shipping, $18 items. Terry has some of the absolute best Lady Vols stuff and the best Pat Summit stuff. So please support our sponsors. OrangeMountainDesigns.com, Tennessee Tap House, Blue Water Climate Control, and Sam Strong to help young people, particularly who need help with who are dealing with cancer and other health situations, help their families. Alexis, I mean, you know what it's like to be a senior. And you got Cassie Kushkitawa out there fighting. You got Renaya Davis. Is there just something extra when you get to that last NCAA tournament and hey, this is it?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That thought that you said out loud. This is it. There's no going back. If I lose, I'm collegiately finished. This is my last game. It makes you play with a fire lit up under your behind. It makes everything that much more important. So throughout this whole season, I always spoke multiple times about, just possessions, one possession at a time, right? Taking care of the basketball. I think when you're a senior, you come into it, that's what you're thinking about. No, this possession, if I'm on defense, we need to control this defensive possession and get the ball back. If I'm on offense, we need to find a way to execute and get a score. I think that now they're playing each possession instead of saying, we should win this game, and they're just playing the game. So that focus, that sense of urgency, that desire to win, or as Coach Summit would say, the will to win, it's there as a senior, because this is it. Also, you got WNBA scouts looking at you. You got overseas coaches looking at you. You got people trying to recruit you as an agent. You got to perform. You are literally at a job interview right now.
That's a good point. Kimberly Ogg said Tess gave us some good minutes. And Tess Darby, the freshman, she did. With Marta Suarez out, I mean, Kelly, you got to get some rest for some of your players, especially with you got a quick turnaround. It's at least it's a day between games. But, shout out to the freshman for you got to be ready. And she hit a three. She played some defense. She got Renaya some rest. So I want to make sure to shout out Tess Darby. Do what your role is. That is so critical for players coming off the bench. What is your role and how do I execute it? Do that.
Seven, our guy over in Europe watching, he said, I only saw parts of the game, but let's be real. You played MTSU and not UConn, South Carolina, or something like that. You have to get better. I will 100% agree with you on that, okay? When we're looking from the outside looking in. Now, let's look from the inside. As a player, the first game in the NCAA tournament, hardly ever is very clean, very well executed, start to finish for any team. Thus the reason you have upsets. I'm not going to make excuses. We definitely have to be better start to finish. I'm glad that game is over and done with. But you're right. We can't survive. Hell, we won't even survive against Michigan if we play a first half like that.
And basically, I mean, you got to play with the schedule you get. You don't get to pick your brackets. Last year, there was no NCAA tournament because of the pandemic. In 2019, Tennessee lost in the first round. Tennessee has struggled in NCAA tournaments, and if fans want to be excited about this win, I'm not going to get in their way. Do you have to play better against Michigan? Absolutely. So I know Tennessee fans have been through hell and back over the last several years with the Pat's sickness, and then Pat's death, and then coaching changes, and for the first ever time in Lady Vol history, a coaching search. I don't want to go through one of those ever again in my life, so I'm very happy that Kelly Harper won this game, because that was the worst stretch of trying to cover the Lady Vols as a coaching search. I feel sorry for every writer that has to cover multiple coaching searches. I don't want to do it ever again. You're tracking every rumor and every blog and every tweet, and none of the information is reliable. It's all over the place. So I agree. Has Tennessee got to play better Tuesday? Absolutely. No argument for me on that. But I'm going to let Tennessee fans have this one and enjoy the heck out of it, because it's been a rough road.
No, it really has, and I'm happy we advanced. But, Lady Vol players, Coach Kelly, fans, if y'all are listening right now, I will say we aren't playing championship basketball yet, but we are playing competitive, high-level D1 NCAA basketball, and I'm liking the start of this first round. We better only go up from here. That's all I got to say.
I remember some second-round games where, Pittsburgh gave y'all everything you could handle in 2007, and that's a team with you and Candace Parker and Shannon Bobbitt and Nikki Anasike and Alberta Augusti and Angie Bjorklund and Alex Fuller, and I probably left some out, but that's off the top of my head. The NCAA tournament, look on the men's side. Illinois, number 1 seed, done. Texas got sent home by a little Abilene Christian. You don't know what's going to happen in March. That's why they call it madness.
Yep, Oral Roberts got a big win against Ohio State. Obviously, we dropped the ball as a number 5 seed on the men's side to number 12 Oklahoma State. The number in front of the team name does not matter in the NCAA tournament. It helps. It helps because you might have a little more home court advantage throughout the tournament. But as far as does it mean anything, no, you have to go out and play.
I want to once again point out OrangeMountainDesigns.com, Pat Summit Special. Get yourself over there when we're done here and buy your stuff for Pat. Back Pat, always back Pat. I also want to point out we're going to have a different show on a little bit different show on Monday at 7:30 p.m. on the Positive Lady Vols page on Facebook. Bobby and Terry are, if you're not on Positive Lady Vol page, please get over there. Bobby and Terry are good friends and good supporters of both of each other, Volunteer Roadshow and Positive Lady Vols and OrangeMountainDesigns.com. We're going to bring Tyler Summit in to talk with us. He will be here 7:30 Monday on Positive Lady Vols page on Facebook to talk with me and Terry. We're going to talk about the NCAA tournament. We're going to talk about experiencing a Final Four. We're going to talk about what it takes to get to a Final Four. Alexis, you kind of went out. Were you able to hear that?
I just heard we're going to talk about something about the Final Four and what it takes. I'm ready.
That's going to be Monday on the Positive Lady Vol page at 7:30 p.m. I'm going to watch you. I'm going to watch you guys at Collective Unfiltered. Y'all need to get done and get over the Positive Lady Vol page. We'll go about an hour. 7:30 to 8:30, we're going to talk to Tyler Summit. Tyler's going to come in and talk about his mom.
I'm definitely going to hop on. I'm definitely going to hop in and watch for sure.
And we'll try to get you. I know you're busy with Collective Unfiltered. We'll try to get you in, for some words too. When you
text, Maria. Shoot me a text.
I'll shoot you the deets, as they say, on how to do that. But at 7:30 p.m., first of all, you guys watch Collective Unfiltered, 7 p.m. on Volunteer Roadshow. Then come over to Positive Lady Vol page and let's hear from Tyler Summit. He's going to talk about what it takes to get to a Final Four. We're all going to talk about our experiences at a Final Four. Alexis, I know you have a pretty good experience at a Final Four in a certain semifinal game against LSU that you love to talk about. But I know I don't think I've missed anything stat-wise. Alexis, you got any final thoughts about this game and what it means for Tennessee?
Yeah, this game was, in my opinion, a good start. Was it the greatest start? No, but it was a start that we needed. We needed to realize, listen, you can't play any old type of way. If you don't bring the defense and the rebounding, I don't care what the other team, who the other team is, what their rank is, you could lose, and that's all it takes is one game. If you're 1 point or more behind your opponent, your season's over. So make sure we stay locked in, survive in advance, take that second half play and continue to play throughout the NCAA tournament like that. But see, next game, we got to turn it up, right? Hopefully we survive in advance then. You know what happens next game? We got to turn it up. So you cannot get complacent as fans, as coaches, or as players especially. We have to continue to push our Lady Vols in a positive direction, uplift them, but be honest. You don't have to say, oh, this sucked, da-da-da-da. Hey, listen, happy about the win. There's a lot of things we need to clean up still. Let's figure that out. Let's scout. It's way different in COVID because we play, then you have a practice, and then, then you're the next day after that, shoot around game. They don't always have that schedule, or they're not able to. So stay with it, survive in advance, and y'all can clip this out later once we repost it, but beat everybody ass. You hear me?
I think we're allowed to say that. Molly Horston's in here. That's Jordan Horston's mama. She said, I'm going to say this. It's Middle Tennessee, but of these girls with transfers from Power 5 teams. So those are Power 5 players who had to transfer for whatever reason. We have to know that we are playing the same caliber players. I don't look at conferences ever. I look at players. That's a very good point. Anastasia Hayes, transfer from Tennessee. Her sister, Aislinn Hayes, was a Power 5 conference recruit, followed her sister to Middle Tennessee. They also have an Ole Miss transfer. Like I said, to start this show, Middle Tennessee deserved a lot better than a 14 seed and a matchup with Tennessee. They could have kept going in the tournament. Kentucky, they struggled with Idaho State early. This is March. I mean, you're gonna have to come ready for every single game, and the field is much better. If you were a top 16 seed, you used to you knew you could get to the Sweet 16 without too many problems.
Right.
That's no longer the case. You got to play to get out of the first round. So Alexis knows that better than anybody. You know what this time of year is like.
Different type of basketball. It's a whole new season. Excuse me. It's a whole nother season. Postseason is nothing like your preseason games, of course. Nothing like regular season because of the stakes and what's that cost. Postseason is literally a whole other season. Everything that you did in the regular season does not matter here. Only thing that matters is, can you do what you need to do night in and night out to go through 6 games to at least compete for a national championship. That's all that matters.
And Credence, I'm not ignoring you with any recruiting news because Alexis Hornbuckle is a representative of Tennessee. She is she's a former Lady Vol. I avoid recruiting on this show when Alexis is in here because that's not fair to her to put her in that position. So you're always free to reach out to me on Facebook and ask me. I'll be glad to talk to you about that. And I also am on 247 Tennessee, GoVols247.com. I talk about that on our message board all the time. We've got a lot of knowledgeable people over there. So if you ever want that kind of recruiting news, it is available there. Alexis, that was like you said, that's the way you open. You shake off 39-39. Pat would not have liked that score at halftime, man. 39 points at one half. Ooh, she would have been big mad.
Yep. I'm actually afraid to really think about what she probably would have said to us outside of what I mentioned earlier. That was just part of it to grease us up for whatever good old talking she was going to give us.
Yeah, you know that was coming. Shout out the double Jordans. Everybody knows I like them both in the game at the same time. 15 assists total. They accounted for 11 of them. 6 for Jordan Horston, 5 for Jordan Walker. That's the way you play in postseason. We said this was going to go about 30 minutes. We're right out there. I got to get back to work. I got a lot of work to do after the game. Alexis has got to get back to some beer, I think maybe some partying, some fun.
Definitely, I'm going to celebrate the win with some wings and a couple of beers. Yes.
Good for you, Alexis. I'm happy for the program. I'm happy for Kelly. I'm happy for former Lady Vols. This matters. I mean, you got to win at this time of year.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Congratulations, Coach Kelly. I didn't even say that. I know Maria did, but, former Lady Vol, we were both number 14, in case y'all didn't know. She got 3 ships. I only got 2, so it is what it is. But, no, seriously, Coach, great job. And I think having a former Lady Vol champion leading the team is everything right now. In this run, in this comeback to rewrite what Lady Vol basketball is.
Yeah, Kelly Harper knows what it's like to win, and she's got a plan, and she's ahead of schedule. I've said that before, and I love what she has done with Renaya Davis and Ray Burrell. I mean, that duo is just an incredible 1-2 punch on the floor. I always say, I don't know what took so long to get the ball to Tamari Key. I was watching the first half. I'm like, please put the hands in the 6-6 right now. I mean, nobody can check her inside, and they got a lot more emphasis on going inside in the second half. So shout out to Tennessee for following the game plan, because Kelly wanted to play through the paint. Those 2 missed threes is when Middle Tennessee closed in the second quarter. Shot selection matters.
Absolutely.
At this level, and 1 or 2 bad shots can flip a game, and you know that.
That can make a 8 to 10 point run easy momentum swing, and you're looking up like, what just happened?
Yeah, that's a good point. Alexis, thank you for taking time out of your day to be with us. I'm going to let you get back to what you do. OrangeMountainDesigns.com. Thank you. Tennessee Tap House, Blue Water Climate Control, Sam Strong. Alexis, take us out of here. Tell everybody we are out.
Listen, I'm so glad that y'all tuned in. I'm even happier that we got the dub and we survive in advance. So make sure y'all tune in Monday night. Check the Positive Lady Vol show right after the Collective Unfiltered. You might need 2 screens because it kind of overlaps. And then me and Maria will be back. But until that time, we appreciate you watching. We love you, Lady Vol fans. Press the thumbs up. Press the like button. Most importantly, share. And until next time, go Lady Vols, and we love y'all.
Peace.